Okay, Mindful Monday. Here we go. This one's going to be more focused around habits and behaviors, specifically autopilot and unconscious, like when you wake up in the morning after being in, deep sleep, right? And the first thing that you do, right? I'm focused on the first thing that you do. I'm focused on that window of time. When I say what you do, I'm referring to myself, by the way. Um, the first thing that I do in the morning, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the way that I previously went about things and the way that I go about things now to appreciate the difference, the contrast. Previously, I used to wake up and the first thing I would do was check my phone. Now I wake up and the first thing that I do is it's kind of like a mixture between prayer and meditation, right? So it's really focusing on the present moment, focusing on my energy, focusing on where my attention and focus is. Um, and I'm just here to take a second to really appreciate how much things have changed. Because, man, night and day, like 100%. I am mindful of the change that has happened. The other reason why I want to take into account the change is because I want to allow myself to be mindful of the fact that I have changed and that I can change. And there was probably a time in my life when I was there was definitely, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. There was a time in my life when I was far less aware of myself as I am now. And the reason why I want to talk about this whole matter of, it's like there's a window of time in the morning that you kind of get to make a choice. You're either going to do things the way that you have before, or you're going to do something different. And throughout the past, like, I don't know, it's much more relevant now. It's much more emphasized now, much more prominent now. But throughout the past, I have absolutely, most definitely, I think it got more serious about 5 years ago when I started to really make different choices in my life that led me to be more conscious awareness. Led me to be more conscious awareness. Led me to be more consciously aware. There we go. Grammatically correct as well. um, or just, in terms of making sense. It's really cool to, like, recognize the changes that have taken place. And I think that that's what's important in terms of being mindful. Um, Now let me take a moment and kind of like look back on the past week, right? I would argue maybe more so about like 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 days. It's relatively close to a week, right? But I'm seeing how much I have the capacity to generate genuine happiness and joy and excitement and euphoria and ecstasy and love within me. Like, nothing externally has happened like crazy over the past week that has caused what it is that I'm feeling inside. I mean, some things, like um uh connection with my partner, the feelings that come with that, the wonderful feelings that come with that. Um but like yesterday's video, I have been taking my power back. More so over the past like week, but like over the past like 5 to 10 years, I've been noticing changes that I've made that have allowed me to really take my power back and to not be so used by external events. Man, external events. I've spent most of my life here I am. This is why I have to be careful when I'm referencing the past, because the past is like a bubble bath, right? Why? Because it's filled with familiarity and comfort, right? And that familiarity and comfort is like, hey, you, what are you doing over there? That's different. That's weird. That's new. How do you feel about it? Yeah, not quite settled in yet? Yeah, why don't you come back here? Got a nice warm bubble bath that you might enjoy if you just, come back here. It's waiting for you. And I'm not going to stop knocking on your door until you come back here. It's really what the past feels like, And what's interesting, too, I don't remember if it was yesterday's video or the day before, but I talked about something that I thought was very interesting, and that is that I think the past is kept alive because we reference it so much for identity, right? Where else would we get our sense of identity from? One of the biggest things that we identify ourselves with is our name, right? That came from the very beginning of our lives, right? So we're constantly referencing the past for a determination and kind of like a guiding star for who we are, right? But in this very moment, I can choose to be completely and drastically different from how I was in the past. I can, right? And it's a matter of the energy that I embody, right? For instance, woo, that's different, right? It's just and see what it produces? We take ourselves, well, at least I take myself too seriously sometimes. I've been learning to do less and less of that as the past week has gone by. And it feels fantastic. It feels so good to just be water, like Bruce Lee says. It really does. It's just a magical experience. When you take each moment and you just allow yourself to be consciously reborn and play with form and be like, whoa, what is that? What is this? I can move. Oh my good. Just have fun with it, right? Being mindful of the in each moment birthing process of personality. It's wild. We get so stuck in this and the structure and the autopilot that is created by that. We get so stuck in that, right? I get so stuck in that sometimes. Oh, but now that in and of itself, I get so stuck in that sometimes. That is the past. That is the past identity. An identity that I am allowing to dissolve. Yeah. What I've discovered is that I don't need the past as much as I previously thought I do. Or as much as I previously thought I did. There we go. I don't. And I am also, just to go even deeper into this because it's important, I'm not my name either. I'm not. That was just given to me at birth. So who am I? When I ask, who am I? All I can think of is Bruce Lee saying, be water, my friend. And I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, my friend. Just flow. I think that a great embodiment of that kind of idea, because I just see this man flowing with the moment. He was, he still is. He's one of my favorite actors out there. I would argue to be probably the best, in my opinion at least, the best in comedy. Jim Carrey, man, that dude is on. He's wild, and he is of the moment. He plays with the forms of life, and he realizes that everything is just always changing, and you can be however you want to. You can, and just be. Right? But also remembering that based on the energy that you are being and embodying, you attract and create experiences in life accordingly, right? So I am being mindful on this Mindful Monday, and I made this clear in a video the other day actually too. I have always been manifesting in life. Everyone always is, because we are energy, and that's just how it works. Everything in this universe is energy, right? I just haven't always been manifesting in a conscious way. I haven't. I've been manifesting in an unconscious way, and that manifestation has been foundationalized. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to coin it anyway. Foundationalized in anxiety and depression and fear and shame and guilt, right? And so now I'm shifting my energy. I'm dissolving the past. I'm making the future more real than the past. I am overcoming by becoming. It's wild.